Hey guys, this is my iPhone guide for 2021. I've had each and every one of these iPhones personally, and I'm going to tell you my experiences with them and which ones I think you should buy. My first and my top pick is the iPhone 11 Pro. This phone was released in 2019, and it is to this day my favorite iPhone that I've ever owned. Everything about it, to me, is perfect. The display size is great. It's an easy one-handed device, at least for me, and the cameras are great. Battery life was great. Everything about it, I had no issues with it at all. The battery health drained on mine quicker than my other iPhones, but the battery life itself was still good, even after a couple months of use with it. And I really do regret getting rid of this phone because this was definitely my favorite iPhone out of all of them that I've used. If you're worried about features, this has pretty much everything covered from Wi-Fi 6 to fast charging, and it even has a triple camera setup, which is honestly still pretty good today. And this phone is overall a very good deal at its current price point. If you're wondering about the price point, it's around $500 to $600 depending on which one you want to buy. My second pick is the iPhone 10. This is an absolutely amazing iPhone. It has a very nice display. It was the first iPhone to adopt the notch, and it has the same form factor as the iPhone 11 Pro. It lacks some features though, such as the triple camera setup, Wi-Fi 6, improved LTE, the fast charger in the box, although you can use fast charging with the iPhone 10, and a couple others, but overall, this is a very great iPhone, and I definitely recommend buying this if you're looking for a better iPhone than you have currently. And this is even an upgrade over the iPhone XS in my opinion, since this has way less reliability problems. I'll talk more about that later. First off, I want to apologize for the quality of these images that I have for my old iPhone 7 Plus. These are the only ones I had. But the iPhone 7 Plus is still a very nice phone. It's got a decent processor, so it runs iOS 15 fine, and it's gonna get the next couple version of iOS. It looks really nice. The size on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus is pretty decent, but overall, it's really solid if you're looking for just a nice, normal phone, which will get you through a good amount of tasks. I used one of these a couple months ago as my main phone for a day, and it got through perfectly. The only thing I'd be aware is the battery, as they seem to degrade a bit faster, and also with time, of course, all these batteries are going to degrade pretty quickly, but yeah. So the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus are good phones. Next, the new iPhones. The iPhone 12 mini, 12, 12 Pro, and 12 Pro Max. There's only one of these phones I would stay away from, and that is the iPhone 12 Pro. It is such a minor upgrade over the regular iPhone 12, and it does not make worth of that extra money. Honestly, either buy the 12 mini, 12, or 12 Pro Max, because the iPhone 12 Pro is really not worth it. And I have heard some hardware issues with the 12 mini and the 12 Pro, so take note of that. But overall, you probably won't be disappointed with these new iPhones. Next, this is a warning against the iPhone XS and XS Max. They have horrible hardware problems, and I understand some of you guys have had it with no issues, and just keep on using your iPhone XS. It's gonna have problems at some point, I will tell you that. My first iPhone XS Max broke after a couple days of use, and I just returned it and got another one, which ended up having battery problems, display problems, charging problems, camera problems, and so many more problems. So I got it replaced by Apple. My next one had battery problems, display problems, and charging problems, and on top of all that, it kept on going into restore mode. And then I had this 10S, which was horrible. It charged very slowly, the battery was horrible, Face ID was slow, and Face ID even broke to an extent sometimes. And yeah, it was just not a good experience of a phone. That was my warning against the iPhone XS. I might make a full video on this later because there's just so much to cover. Some notable mentions for good iPhones are the iPhone 8 series, the iPhone SE 1 and 2, depending on what your budget is. And if you really want an iPhone 6 series device, the iPhone 6s is alright. and for the money, it's a decent buy if you just want to get into iPhones, but I recommend the iPhone SE first generation if you're trying to get into iPhones for extremely cheap. Thank you for watching this video. Those are my picks for iPhones in 2021 and going into 2022. So if you enjoyed this video, a like would be appreciated as I just put in a good amount of work into this video, and goodbye.